Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. If you are new here, hi, my name is Carrie. I'm a TV host and I live in Kansas City, Missouri. Happy hump day. We are halfway through the week and it feels good to be halfway through the week, I'll tell you that much. It's kind of been a wonky week because I did not have work on Monday. Our show was canceled, or we had the day off because of inauguration coverage that was on our channel, much like every other, network cable channel, I'm sure. So our show was canceled because of that. So I had the extra day, which was nice and enjoyable. It has been particularly cold in Kansas City lately. We have been negatives, we have been single-digit highs. It's just been cold. Someone wants to say hi. If you are new here, this is Cedric. This is my cat. He thinks he's the king of the world, basically. So I made myself a little post-work latte, iced latte, because today it's actually like 35 degrees, which is really great, like I said, compared to what it has been. So I'm looking forward to taking Doogie to the dog park. It's been too cold to go to the dog park, truly. Yesterday we went for a little bit and it was tough. It was tough. He had his little jacket on and there were a couple other dogs there that had their jackets on. They look so cute. But we couldn't stay long because I was cold and the wind was cold, like it beats on your face and your eyes are like watering and you're like, this is not fun. So we did go for a little bit, but it didn't last very long. Today is the first day in several days that it's been warm enough that we can go for like our typical like half hour or more. So we're gonna go to the dog park. And then this evening, I am gonna get drinks with my girlfriend Brecken, who was one of my coworkers when I worked for the Royals. We actually started on the same day for the Royals. I remember meeting her in the lobby, like when you start somewhere, like you come to the lobby and you like sit there and wait. Like she started the same day as me, so we were always like close because we had desks next to each other and we started on the same day, and I just love her. So I haven't seen her in a while and we're gonna go get drinks, which I'm really looking forward to just catching up with her. So yesterday was January 21st, and if you are a book lover like me, then you know that yesterday was Onyx Storm Day. And a couple weeks ago, I went to Amazon and I pre-ordered Onyx Storm. I love to shop local as much as I can for my books, but I was really nervous that all my local bookstores would be out of it, honestly. Like I was nervous for that. So I'm like, let me pre-order it, then I can get my hands on it right away. It'll be at my door, we'll be good to go. Well, my book never came. Like I said, I pre-ordered it on Amazon. Thanks for nothing, Jeff Bezos. Like my account, it still says like order received. We'll let you know when we have a shipping date. Like what the, I ordered this weeks ago. So anyways, I was really annoyed and frustrated. I know this is happening to a lot of other people. My best friend Bree back in Wisconsin, same thing happened to her. She even pre-ordered hers before me and she still like doesn't have a delivery date. So it's just been a cluster. So I went to my local romance bookstore here in Kansas City. We have an adorable romance bookstore, which if you've watched past vlogs, I have taken you guys in there before. It's called Under the Covers. And it's a purely romance bookstore. I truly did not think they were gonna have any left in stock, but I walked in today after work and look at what they had. And they had the deluxe edition, which is what I ordered and what I was afraid I wasn't gonna get if I went to a store. I canceled my order from Amazon, see you never. And I'm just really happy to have my hands on this. I'm gonna try and start it tonight and I'm really excited. I have heard that it starts slow but picks up. We will see. I will probably give you guys updates if I can confirm or deny that. But I'm just really excited to have it. Shame on the publishers for not handling this. I know a lot of people have been really upset about not getting their books on time. It defeats the whole purpose of pre-ordering. Like why I'm pre-ordering so that you guys know approximately how many books are gonna be in demand. I know so many people pre-ordered this book, so how are we still having this problem? I don't understand. Shame on them. Like, have you learned nothing? This is the third book. Figure it out. Come on. Anyway, she's here. It's the edition I wanted. I'm so excited. Okay, all that being said, let me get my jacket and let's go to the dog park. Okay, we have already had a change of plans this morning. Doogie is in the back seat with me because his eye has been bothering him. Both of his eyes, but particularly his right eye. It was just really goopy yesterday, and this morning we woke up and it was worse, and I was like, ugh. I have pet insurance. I'm like, let me just go take him in. So I called our vet to see if we could get an appointment for him to come in. I'm gonna drop him off now and they're gonna work him in throughout the day. But I just hate seeing him uncomfortable, and he's kind of itching at it, and it's just goopy and it's like half open. Like, I don't know, he just looks so pitiful. I can't take it, watching him suffer. So here we are at the vet. I'm gonna drop him off and then I need to get to work. Luckily, my vet is literally half a mile down the road from the station, so it works out really good that I can just drop him off. So let's go, buddy. Oh, look at his goopy eyes. It's so gross. Oh, poor guy.
Good morning and thank you all for joining us. I'm Tony Talley.
And I'm Carrie Gillespie. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you Friday Eve.
Yes.
One day closer to the big game.
Yeah.
I do think, you know, it would puts him in a category above Tom Brady, because Tom Brady never three-peated.
He did not.
He did back-to-back, but he never got a three-peat. And that was really, you know, when Jordan really became Jordan.
Yes.
Is when he three-peated.
Yeah.
So it really does elevate him to this next level that I think that he's got his eye more on that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Amelia Perez, The Brutalist, and Wicked received multiple nominations, with actors Adrian Brody, Timothée Chalamet, and Coleman Domingo up for Best Actor. Cynthia Erivo, Demi Moore, and Fernando Torres were nominated for Best Actress. Now that we have the full-fledged award season that is, you know, fully a go,
yeah.
The Oscars is the biggest one and the last one to announce their nominations. Do the nominations pique your interest to watch these movies? We're looking at The Brutalist, which is a favorite to win.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody's a favorite to win, but the film's also a favorite to win. Hey everyone, we're out here at the Overland Park Convention Center, and I'm so excited about this one. This is one of my favorite ones that I get to come out and cover, because there's just so much to do, so much to see, so much going on. It's the Johnson County Home and Garden Show, and we are giving you a preview because it kicks off today. I just got home from my post-record that was out in Overland Park. I came home right after the show. Like, as soon as the show ended, I packed my stuff up and came home, because Doogie was in my car the entire time, just chilling, because I had to take him to the vet, and then the vet could see him right away. And I couldn't take him home, like I had to go to work. So I've done that before, where I've left him in my car for like, you know, an hour or two, and he does just fine. He curls up. And it really wasn't too cold. I parked in the sun. He had his little jacket on. He was totally fine. But I wanted to get him home so then I could go to my post-record. So I jetted off right after that, brought him home. He's already had one dose of his drops, and his eye is already looking better. It's bothering him less. I can tell this morning it was super inflamed. Sorry, this thing is just bothering me. This morning it was super red and inflamed, and I could tell he was just like barely opening it, and like just, I could tell he was uncomfortable. And he's already looking better. So that's great. These drops supposedly are supposed to, like, it should be gone within 24 to 48 hours, she said. So we are looking forward to that. And I'm just glad my boy is okay. I'm so thankful they got him in quickly. I really do love my vet. They do a really good job. They've always done a really good job with our animals. So I'm just glad to have that taken care of. Glad my boy is back home. He's napping. He's so sleepy. Honestly, there is stuff that I could do to be productive, but what I really want to do is crack open an orange soda and read Onyx Storm. So I really only I'm on page 17. So I really only read 2 chapters yesterday and I want to get going, but I got home late from my dinner with my girlfriend. And so I was just too tired to read much more. But I just think I'm gonna read for a little bit and hang out. And then later this evening, I am going back into the city because I was invited to take part in this thing called Mocktails with Mott. And I met her at the Missouri Pitbull Rescue Gala last year. And she does this thing on her Instagram on Fridays, I think it is, every Friday. She releases a new one, and it's she sits down and has like a mocktail with someone and chats with them and gets to know them and like talks about their mission and things like that. And she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said sure. So we've been trying to get a date that works for both of us. She had reached out to me like before Christmas, and I had a lot going on. I was just a little too busy to fit it in. But I'm going to do that tonight. So that's not till 5:30, so I have a little bit. And I really just want to read and relax because today has been go, 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 like to the next level. And your girl really wants a nap. So let's read some Onyx Storm. You guys, it is past 5 o'clock right now. Like, granted, it's like 5:03, but it's still like sun out. Like, there's still light out. It's incredible. It's just a good feeling. I'll just say that. Okay, I'm in the car getting ready to go to my little thing tonight that I was telling you guys about. But on my way there, I wanted to stop at the library because I had a book that I put on hold that is now ready for me to pick up. So I'm gonna go in and grab it. I forgot actually which one it is. I put a bunch of books on hold at the library and then I forget about them. And then when they come up, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll get the email and it'll pop in my inbox and I'll be like, yeah, I remember I wanted to read that. So it's kind of like a fun little game I play. I don't know, but let's go in and get my book real quick. I am at the station early this morning because I have an early morning Zoom interview. A lot of times I have interviews over Zoom before the show starts and I have to knock those out. This one is early this morning, but for good reason. I am interviewing Mark Wahlberg. That's right. He has a new movie out. I think it's called, what is it called? I need to look that up, clearly. He has a new movie out and obviously he's doing press for it and I'm excited. I'm excited. It's so fun to be able to interview celebrities because I'm a pop culture girly. Like, I love all the pop culture things. I wish I could interview these people in person because I think there's something that in-person interviewing offers that you can't get through a screen, but you got to do the best you can with what you got, and just being able to talk to a lot of these celebs is mind-blowing. Like, it's crazy. Teenage me, who grew up loving The Departed, like still to this day, one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't know what that says about me, that as a teenager that was my favorite movie, but I love The Departed. And if you would have told her back then, little teenage me growing up in a town of 800 people in like the middle of nowhere, central Wisconsin, that she is gonna have a conversation with Mark Wahlberg, she would have told you to kindly take several seats. So here we are, and it's pretty fun, and I'm pretty lucky to get to do what I do. So let's get in there and let's get prepped for this interview. Good morning, Mark. I'm excited to chat with you. This movie, you get to be the bad guy, which is not a role that you've had a lot. The last one I could think of is Fear back in 1996. So what's it like for you to be the bad guy? Yeah, berserk is a good way to put it. It's kind of like this, you're kind of creepy in it, honestly. Like, no offense, but there's some creep factor. But I would love to know from an acting standpoint, you know, how you prepare for roles like this. It has to be different than how you prepare for, let's say, The Other Guys or Ted. Like, your preparation has to be different for this role. So I would love to know how you come into this and bring this version of yourself to the screen. Yeah, well, it was really a pleasure to watch you go into that next, you know, that next gear of creepiness. So congratulations, great work, really enjoyed it. Thanks, Mark. How cool.
Now this is how we do it. Good morning, thank you all for joining us. I'm Tony Talley.
And I'm Carrie Lipper-Gillespie. Happy Red Friday, everyone. The buzz is in the air. A chance to head to the Super Bowl for a shot at a three-peat history making.
History making.
All right, we mentioned the bet. We have to talk about it. So here it is. The losing show has to wear the winning team's gear on air before the Super Bowl.
How do you feel about wearing our gear again?
That's not happening.
She's in denial.
She is.
And we are always happy to have you.
Yeah.
First, how's my hat
We
look?
love
Your
your hat.
looks good.
Okay, you guys, I always forget to wear red, and so I was like, I'm gonna make a point. This is a big game.
It is a big game. You did it.
This
You
is
did
very
it.
important to us.
So I want you to touch some on fostering, because right now Darlin is at your shelter, but if people maybe aren't sure if like she's the dog for them, they could always try fostering.
Absolutely. We would love to see Darlin in a foster home, have purchased a new animal shelter, which was a really big deal. Yes, so we have been hard working on that.
It is 12:08. I am in my car. My show literally just ended. I changed my clothes and I need to get to my post-show shoot. A lot of times I have post-show shoots, not always. And definitely on Fridays I usually don't, but today I have one and we are doing 2 segments. And it's pretty far away, I'm not gonna lie. It's like an hour and 20 minutes away, which is not ideal, honestly. A lot of my shoots are around the KC metro area. Like usually I don't have to drive farther than like a half hour to get to one, but today's is just way out yonder. So it's kind of painful on a Friday when you gotta drive somewhere for so long and do more work. But alas, here we are. So let's get it going. I kind of have a headache. I don't love that for me, but what can we do? Nothing. So let's go. I forgot to tell you guys, one of the plus sides of this shoot is that one of them is at an animal shelter. So I'm excited about that, at least. If I have to work extra on a Friday, at least I'm working with the animals. I'm tired. It feels so good to sit down. It was a long day and I have a really bad headache right now, honestly. If you have watched some of my other vlogs, then you know I've mentioned before that I get really bad migraines probably like once a month and they last for I don't know, anywhere from 8 hours to like 48 hours. And honestly, I was doing good. I don't think I had a migraine last month. I was doing pretty good. But this afternoon, I started to feel some tension in my head, and it's just kind of gotten a little bit worse. And they just make it really hard to do anything. I don't know how else to say it. And so I have a migraine, and I really just need to relax and take a load off. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is reading some more Onyx Storm, because I really haven't gotten that far. I've been so busy this week that my reading time hasn't been much. Most of my reading time is at night before I go to bed, but I just haven't had the time because I went out to dinner 2 nights in a row. Like, who am I? I don't even know her. So I'm most likely not gonna do anything of importance tonight. I wanted to just reflect on something because this afternoon was really great. And I left the station and I had to leave right after the show, and I even said to you guys on the vlog, like, this is, you know, an hour and 20 minutes I have to drive to get there, do the shoot, do 2 shoots, and then drive an hour and 20 minutes back. And I was even saying like, oh, not what you want to do on a Friday, blah, 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 blah. And I got there, and I'm so glad we went. I'm so glad we went. The Clinton Animal Shelter was incredible. They were so kind and so wonderful, and we were really going to shoot a story on them because we were shooting a story for this company called Max Motors. They sell cars, and we do like monthly segments with them, and they kind of partner with the Clinton Animal Shelter to just bring awareness to what they're doing, share some of the dogs at their shelter via social media, via their social media. They're always collecting donations for the shelter and things like that. And the girl who does their social media, Ida, was like, well, we have these segments, and I thought that maybe we could use one to talk about the Clinton Animal Shelter. So, which was really sweet of them because they pay for these segments, and she's like, we just want to use one to talk about the shelter. Like, she's like, you don't even have to mention us. I did, of course. I was like, we're here on behalf of Max Motors. But she's like, you don't even have to mention us. Like, we just want them to get the shine that they deserve. And it was really great. It's a small municipal rural shelter, and it is a city shelter because Clinton is a city, so they do get funding from the city, but only about 30% of their funding comes from the city. And I'm from a really rural area, so I know from my own experience that rural shelters it's so tough. It's so tough because the resources are so small, and you have to do the most a lot of times with the least, and it can just be really tough. And their facilities are small. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, very small. All of their kennels are full. They have some dogs in pop-up kennels because they need to make space. They're a no-kill shelter, so they really make space for any dog that comes in. And everything's tight, you know, even their front office, like, they're on top of each other in this little building, but you can tell they have so much heart in what they're doing and that they care so much. And I'm just really glad I went. I'm really glad I went. And it's hard. It's so hard, you guys. Being in rescue right now is tough. It really is, because it can be so, like, when does it end? You're drinking out of a fire hose, truly. And I know that's how they feel. I know that's how everyone in the rescue world feels, but it's really hard. And these are good animals. These are good dogs that just deserve a chance. They deserve someone to look at them and love them and just give them, you know, a warm bed, some love, and some food. Like, that's what they want. That's all they want. And they just need someone to give them that shot. For me, it just really put into perspective, how amazing we have it at Missouri Pit Bull Rescue, because we have an amazing shelter. It's not huge, but we have so much space. Like, we have dog runs. Every dog has an indoor kennel, outdoor kennel. They have beds. They have all these other things. Like, there's so much space there. Our dogs are so spoiled. And then also going to Kansas City Pet Project, which is the city shelter here in Kansas City. It's state of the art. Like, it is stunning. Like, there's a coffee shop inside the shelter. Like, it's a state of the art shelter. And granted, they have their own problems. They are always at capacity and doing the best they can, but their facilities are so beautiful. And you know, just going to somewhere else where that's not the case, where they really are doing the best they can with what they have, it's eye-opening. And I'm really glad I went. And reminds me that you never know when you're gonna go somewhere or meet somebody or do something that is gonna teach you a lesson or change your life, to be honest with you. Like, you never know when that moment's gonna come. I had kind of a bad attitude going into it because I wanted my weekend to start. I was like, it's Friday. I don't wanna drive all this way, even if it's 4 animals. Like, I was kind of bummed that I had to do this. And I left feeling so glad that I was there and wanting to go back. So again, Ida, the girl who does their social media for Max Motors, and I are already strategizing and have some ideas for how we can bring some more eyes to what the Clinton Animal Shelter is doing, and some other stories we can maybe do and things like that. So I'm excited. I think we're gonna go back in the spring to the shelter specifically so we can take some drone footage and do even more. You know, it was cold outside. There's only so much you can do outside. And because the space isn't that big, some of it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but we have already planned that we are gonna go back in the spring and do even more for this little shelter that is doing amazing work with everything that they have. And it also just solidified in my heart what I pretty much already knew, that all of the skills that I have as a journalist, as an interviewer, as a storyteller, as like someone with on-camera presence, all those skills, my ultimate dream is to use them to help more animals. Like, that's my goal. That's my dream. It really is. I love interviewing celebrities like Mark Wahlberg. I love interviewing sports stars, things like that. Those kind of people, it's really cool to hear about successful people and what they do and the art that they make. And I think I'll always, you know, be drawn to that to some extent, but my true passion is like, I want to help animals. I want to help animals. Like, that's what I want to do in the world. I want to take naps, I want to read books, and I want to save animals. That's it. That's what I want to do. I will get off my soapbox now, but I just wanted to share the evolution of the afternoon and that moment, and I hope you guys can take something away from it too, because it really was special. And you never know when those moments are going to come along in life. You really don't. And so just be prepared, be ready, and embrace them when they do, because they're really so special. And now, it's time to read about dragons. Happy weekend. I got up pretty early just because I went to bed pretty early, so I was ready to go, and I immediately went to the couch with my coffee to read Onyx Storm. I took the dust jacket off of it when I was reading, but I am approximately, let's see, I'm on chapter 16, so a page 137. So I'm hoping to finish this weekend. So you will hear my thoughts about it in the next vlog, I'm sure. But I will say I kind of agree with everyone else that has said that the beginning was slow. The first 50 pages or so was kind of like a slog. But after that, it's really picked up and things are starting to happen. We'll just say that. I also wanted to give you guys an update on Doogie because I took him to the vet the other day. Out of the blue, his eyes were bothering him. He's been on drops for 3 days. This will be the 3rd day that he's been on drops, and his eyes are pretty much completely back to normal. He woke up with like a little bit of goo in the corners, but honestly, not bad. And I'm really impressed with the drops. The vet told me that it should take care of it pretty quickly. Nevertheless, he needs to be on the drops for 5 to 7 days, so we will continue doing the drops. Doogie, what are we doing? What are we doing? He's so goofy. Hello. So yeah, his eyes look way better. It's kind of hard to see because he's kind of backlit, but the eyes are better. And I washed, this is the comforter for our guest room, and I washed it yesterday because it just needed to be washed. And I hung it out here to dry, or I placed it over the table to dry, and he is clearly making a home out of it. Do you like that? Do you like that? We're gonna put it in the guest room so you don't get it dirty. But yeah, his eyes are pretty much back to normal. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, right, buddy? He's been such a good boy taking his drops also, which is just something that's new to me because my dog that passed, Gatsby, the love of my life, rest in peace. I love you, I miss you, buddy. He was really bad at taking drops or like any kind of medication or anything like that. He would put up a huge stink, and it was like a wrestling match to get you know, the littlest thing for him, and he was just a real treat when it came to stuff like that. So it's weird to have a dog that's so good with things like this. Even Lila, she's not super bad, but she'll just like her head like that when she needs to get drops or anything like that. So she's not super bad, but Doogie pretty much just lays there, which is such a weird phenomenon to me as a dog mom. Anyway, we are back on the mend, and I could not be more grateful that it wasn't something serious. As a Shar-Pei mom, I am so familiar with eye problems, and they are nothing to mess with. Gatsby had entropion surgery, and he had a couple other things wrong with his eyes. Lila is completely blind because of her eyes and the fact that they weren't cared for when she was younger. By the time she came to us when she was 1 and we rescued her, she was already completely blind. I actually honestly need to do an origin story of Lila because her story is so incredible and I love her so much. So maybe that's an idea for another video. I can do a total origin story on her because she's really the reason why I got into rescue. Other than that, before her, like I had bought all my dogs from breeders. So she's like the one that opened up the floodgates for me. So I definitely need to tell you her story sometime. Anyway, I'm very familiar with eye problems when it comes to dogs, and ear problems and skin problems. Hashtag Shar-Pei mom. But I'm glad it wasn't something serious. He just had like a little infection and the drops have helped and he's pretty much back to normal.